This is the News Hour with Arnab Goswami.
I'd like to welcome Farah Naqvi, member of the NAC and social activist and writer, Jay Panda, member of parliament. I think you'll be at the all-party meeting tomorrow, and Mohandas Pai. Mohandas Pai, what is the way out now? You know, the way it's being played out politically seems to assume that this man, Anna Hazare, has eternal physical strength to carry on till the political parties at the time of their choice have their meeting, come out with their resolution. So it's assumed that Anna Hazare will be perfectly okay till about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. I mean, that's expecting too much, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's expecting too much, Arnab. But Arnab, today the Prime Minister made a statesman-like gesture in inviting Anna Hazare for talks. I think he must take it forward. And tomorrow, I think the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition should approach the Speaker to take leave of the Speaker to introduce the bill, and possibly over the next 3 days ask Parliament to discuss the issue of corruption and see what kind of bill they can pass in response to the wishes of the people. I think that will be the right thing to do, so that over 3 days we will get some outcome, and the Parliament is sovereign. Parliament can suspend all its formalities to do this, and there is nothing that can prevent Parliament from doing all this. If both the opposition party and the government come together and decide, look, we will take this forward, we will debate, we will thrash it out in Parliament and have a fully televised debate before the people of this country and show their sincerity in tackling this issue, instead of looking at the political challenges and seeing what is good for this country, we can have a resolution in 3 days. It doesn't require a select committee, doesn't require delays, doesn't require people to give multiple bills. Just go ahead and discuss in Parliament.
But the whole argument...
So there is a solution.
No, the whole argument, Farah Naqvi, the whole argument that is being presented of subversion of Parliament is irrelevant at this point of time. Because the chairman of the standing committee has himself said this, it's not subverting Parliament to withdraw a bill. It might amount to having to swallow a bit of political ego. But it's not subverting Parliament to withdraw the bill. It's not unconstitutional to withdraw the bill. It's perfectly legitimate to withdraw the bill. Maybe that's a starting point, Farah.
Arnab, I can't hear you very clearly, and I can't hear your guests at all. I want to make a couple of points. You know, this is really not about the Lokpal bill anymore. And I think that what we're seeing today, in fact, what I saw just a short while back when these people, the people who are promoting the Lokpal bill, Team Anna, came out of meeting various ministers. You know, this is really, it's both a crisis of governance, it's a crisis of politics, it's also a crisis of communication. The political leaders, our leaders need to be out there speaking and reassuring whoever these people are who are out there on the streets that we are there and we will do whatever is right. I do not believe that throwing technocratic solutions and saying, you know, this letter from the Prime Minister and you present this to the standing committee and so on. I'm not sure that this is all that it takes. Having said that, I also want to make another point, Arnab, if I might.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go on.
Yeah. I want to make another point, which is that, you know, I'm sitting here today so deeply disappointed at so many levels. I am appalled by the way this civil society that is leading this movement is behaving. It's behaving undemocratically. It's not willing to listen to other opinions. I am also civil society. I don't agree with the Jan Lokpal bill. I think it has some good points. I think it has huge dangers. I also believe that the government has shown singular lack of statesmanship. I think I'm shocked and appalled at the sight of the opposition gloating and L.K. Advani asking for the Prime Minister's head. They must realize this is not an attack on a government or the UPA government. This is people expressing sentiment against society. Governance.
No, but
the kind of governance.
Farah, civil society is not restricted to a few people. Civil society does not have to be nominated or elected or selected by the government to gain legitimacy. And if some people have emerged as the non-government appointed representatives of civil society, they are a legitimate process and a product of our own democracy. I mean, I don't know where the great, anathema to this civil society suddenly emerging. It appears to be almost a class argument out here, that we are civil society. Nobody else can be civil society anymore in this country. Those people have proven their credentials. The people are with them. They've struck a chord more than anyone else has outside the political class. Even politicians admit it.
Arnab, I really can't hear everything you're saying clearly to the extent that I can. I want to say I applaud civil society. I applaud that there are people saying we want a more responsive governance. All I am saying is all of us in civil society must abide by the same standards we impose on government. I also welcome this opportunity to say I have deposed many a time before the Standing Committee of Parliament on n number of legislations. Yes. I also want to say this is exactly the kind of occasion we need to convert these standing committees into genuine democratic forums. They have not been genuine democratic forums so far.
Farah, it's not undemocratic going to Jay Panda. It's not undemocratic to withdraw the bill. It will take you a lot to swallow, but it's not undemocratic to withdraw the bill. Jay Panda.
Arnab, not only is it not undemocratic, a little bit earlier on your channel there was a lot of argument being made about upholding the prestige of Parliament, and let me tell you, I've been in Parliament for 11 years and I don't feel my prestige is at stake, and I can tell you there are hundreds of MPs who don't feel their prestige is at stake. I think the government version of the bill must be withdrawn immediately, and not just because Anna's health is at stake, but the fact is the government's bill was born in ignominious circumstances, because there are great allegations that the government misused the discussions that it had with civil society members, and that it ran a fast one there. Now the opposition weren't part of the discussion, so we can't say what actually happened, but the fact is that the government's bill is a very weak bill, and it bears almost no resemblance to what the Jan Lokpal bill is. And unless the problem is the government has lost credibility on this issue, and a very strong version of the Lokpal bill must be put up to Parliament. There is no problem in taking it up in the full Parliament right away.
Okay, now Farah, I know you want to rebut, but I'm going to Shankar Sharma.
No, I'm not rebutting. I'm not rebutting, Arnab.
Okay, briefly.
I want to just say that what Jay Panda said, I believe the government's bill is a bill in bad faith. I believe the government must withdraw the bill. However, I believe the Jan Lokpal bill is an equally bad bill.
Sure,
I do not believe two bad bills will make a good bill. I think that they need to give time, have wider consultation,
I'm going to Shankar Sharma now.
Withdraw the government bill.
Yeah, but so everyone's saying withdraw the government bill, but the difference between these two bills, which both have their flaws, perhaps, is that Jan Lokpal bill is less under the thumb of government. And you cannot have an institution under the thumb of government when it's supposed to investigate government itself. Shankar Sharma, on the impasse tonight, what is your view?
Well, I've read a bit of both the bills, or the proposed bills. The one that doesn't seem to be making any headlines is Aruna Roy's version of the bill, and I think just because she's not doing dandiya out on the streets doesn't mean that her bill or her version of this bill is to be dismissed or not to be given cognizance to. I think she is, whatever I've read of that version seems to be the most sensible, but unfortunately she has not got a well-oiled public relation machinery like Anna Hazare's team, and so it's not even making page 6, let alone page 1.
Hers is not actually even a version. She's not, no, one second, I just want to correct you there, Shankar Sharma. She's not presented an alternative bill. Everyone's saying, I like her bill as for opposition. She's not got a bill. She's only given some suggestions, that's all. There is no alternative bill that Aruna Roy has.
Fair enough, it doesn't, look, we can,
so why are people taking positions saying, I like Aruna Roy's bill?
The point is, are we taking her suggestions on board here? Because I'm just getting a sense here, and I'm a civilian. I really don't carry a bat for the Congress or the BJP or a Team Anna. I'm just getting a sense here. This whole movement is becoming a Frankenstein, and it needs to be fed with controversy every day. Anna Hazare has become an iconic figure all of a sudden, and I'm sure there is a lot of ego behind this entire thing. That you brought a mighty government down to its knees, the world's largest democracy. I think it's time to just pedal back a bit and come to the table as all normal, reasonable human beings, should. But but I don't see that happening, and that's extremely
Jay Panda,
unfortunate.
okay, Jay Panda, tonight the issue is Anna Hazare's health. It's Anna Hazare's health which is the issue. We don't want to get mired in technicalities.
Anna Hazare's health is of crucial importance to India, because were anything to happen to him, all hell would break loose. But there is something even more important than that. This argument that is being made that Anna Hazare has been rigid is only because the government has shown no flexibility at all. The fact is, there have been plenty of indications from Anna Hazare and his team for many months that they are willing to have some give and take.
Yes.
But the fact is that what the government did in introducing this weak version of the bill was in bad faith. They had discussions with Anna Hazare's team, and what they introduced had no resemblance or absolutely no middle ground at all. So you can't act in bad faith and then expect to have the credibility that people will take you seriously.
So what are the steps to be taken now?
The government has to regain its credibility by withdrawing the bill immediately.
No, see, I want to keep everything aside. You see, what's happening here, Mohandas Bhai, there are political egos, the technical arguments, the standing committee, this, that, pull out history, subverting democracy, everything. Now, we have a situation here. A situation is not created by anyone but acts of the government that have led to this situation. They have to intervene quickly. They may have to swallow a bit of their pride and worry about what happened and ensure it doesn't happen again. But tonight, you have to get this man who's even refusing to take saline, you have to make him regain his health. I don't see any other as the critical issue.
The critical issue is Anna Hazare fasting and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people coming out of the street to show what they want. Parliament has to listen to the voice of the people. The people have spoken. Now all these civil society types are making finite arguments about saying whether this bill is right. That is not the issue at all. Take the Anna bill, put it before Parliament, have a debate for 3 days where all shades of opinion can come. Let the democracy flourish. Let it be open, transparent, and let Parliament end of 3 days decide. Set aside all the rules of procedure because Parliament is sovereign. Set aside the select committee and debate the bill. And any MP can come and counter any points, and everybody's got a different opinion can go to Parliament, tell their MPs to counter everything. Let there be an open debate. Let people of this country know what it is and let Parliament come to a conclusion. What is wrong with this? Why should you delay the debate in the Parliament? Why can't the government place Anna's bill as a bill open for debate? At the end of it, all the points will come out, and what comes out will be something good.
Why can't, okay, now here's a question. Like your bill, like your anti-communal violence bill is the starting point for what may be a debate in Parliament. Anna Hazare's bill, why can't it be a starting point for a debate in Parliament?
Yes.
Farah? Just because yours is an NSC approved draft and his is not?
No, this is not about the NAC. Let's not make this debate about the NAC. This is this is not the point. This is not the point. You're trying to make this the point.
No, but
the NAC is an advisory body. It's given. Keep 1 second. Once you've asked a question, let me finish.
Yes.
I'm saying that it has been given. The government will make whatever changes it wishes to. It will then go to cabinet. It will then be tabled in Parliament. It will go to a standing committee if they so desire. It will have 1,000 other dissensions. There was a very wide democratic consultation before even drafting the point.
All of this can happen to this also. It is not the final. It is not the final word, but it needs to be given an opportunity to be debated in Parliament. You can't be restrictive on that.
May I please speak? I'm saying that this is an opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to convert the standing committee process into a genuine citizens participatory forum, which it has not been, by the way. Having deposed before many parliamentary committees, I can tell you that the standing committee can oftentimes just hear your views. It will be rejected. It is not binding. It merely gives advice and recommendations. I believe it can become, this is the moment that we want. We want to strengthen our institutions. Strengthen. Don't fool the people by saying parliamentary standing committee mein ja raha hai and that's your solution. That's obfuscatory of the government. We must be honest and say standing committee recommendations are not always taken on board, but let us convert this into a wide citizens forum.
No, you're getting a rebut. Okay, go on, rebut.
Or no, let me rebut to that.
Okay, Jay Panda is rebutting that. Jay Panda.
Arnab, the fact is the government had a window of opportunity when it could have introduced a credible bill, even if that was not identical to the Lokpal bill, and that could have gone through the standing committee process and had public interventions and all that. But because of the delay and because of the introduction by the government of a bill that lacks credibility, I think that window has been lost. I think we need to proceed directly to the full parliament today. And a very credible bill has to be proposed, either the Jan Lokpal bill or something which is 90% similar to it.
True.
And then it can be tweaked by debate in parliament.
Okay.
And I think that is the only window of opportunity left today.
Maybe that's the proposal Jay Panda is taking to the all-party meeting tomorrow. Shankar Sharma, critical is, can the government, in your view, afford to let Anna Hazare's health fail further by continuing to carry on the stalemate? The government started this off, so it has to do something, right?
It can't afford to do anything just now, let alone let Anna Hazare's health fail. I mean, unfortunately, the government has been driven into a corner. And I think the best man to decide in this case is Anna Hazare himself. But you see, it's again, my gut feel is that it's again playing to the galleries. They have to keep this thing going for as long as possible, and which is why this whole rush to get a bill passed in a hurry in 15 days' time. I mean, that kind of dadagiri doesn't sit right with me as a civilian. I mean, I find it just too much of dadagiri going on instead of the so-called Gandhigiri. You know, so that is my core problem. And unfortunately, I cannot match the decibel levels of my politician friends on this channel. But the fact of the matter is that as a civilian, I'm very disquieted by this. It is very, very worrisome for the people to be given the impression that a simple, naive solution to all the problems facing India to the corruption can be found by this one bill.
Here's one point.
I think that's a very naive position and a very dangerous position.
Mohandas Pai is not a politician. He's rebutting you. Yeah.
Anna, for 30 years, we are not seeing such a huge number of people marching on the streets, holding a vigil and coming together as they're done now. Very largely young people, educated people, because they're against corruption, supporting this. Why doesn't Parliament listen to this? Our Prime Minister has gone out of the way to invite Anna Hazare. I would expect him like a statesman tomorrow to go before Parliament and present this bill. And as per the leader of opposition who has said that they're committed to eradicating corruption, to support it and have a full discussion for 3 days.
Yes.
Why stand on niceties about this bill and that bill? Give this bill, let there be a full debate, let the people of this country hear the debate and let them go talk to their MPs and tell them what they want. Why? There's a crisis.
Okay, I'm completely out of time,
Please
but here's a
possibility.
Here's a possibility. Withdraw the bill, extend the parliament session, open up a new discussion, get more representatives in and move forward. Swallow some of your pride. But is it possible to swallow political pride? That's the question tonight.